Welcome back to Flick Favorites. I'm going to explain a drama, fantasy, horror film from 2021, titled, Lamb. Spoilers ahead. Enjoy the content. A herd of horses gets alarmed by an unknown monster during a snowfall. Later, the same creature alarms the sheep by entering a nearby barn and breathing excessively. Ingvar and Maria, a childless couple, reside in Iceland's mountains. They are maintaining the sheep and cultivating the land to provide veggies for the family while leading a very simple, tranquil existence. They spend much of their time together or working on household tasks because the location is fairly isolated from the outside world. Ingvar is not interested in increasing the herd because they have no financial requirements, but Maria feels the amount of sheep they have is better than previous year when she counts them one evening to keep track of how many are in the barn. When Maria mentions the tractor to him during a conversation about work and how it's causing issues once more, he responds that they should have it mended before the planting season. As one of the sheep gives birth to a hybrid lamb with a half-sheep, half-human physique, they witness a weird incident. Maria brings her into the house after seeing he is more inclined to be human, and they both begin caring for her. They commit their devotion to the lamb, whom they name Ada, because they are without children of their own. Ada's baby cart is even brought in by Ingvar and placed in their bedroom so she may always be near them. Her original mother repeatedly calls them as they embrace Ada into their family, but they don't answer. Ingvar becomes disturbed when she is treated like a kid by Maria and sobs because he is disappointed that they do not have a child of their own. However, he keeps his sorrow from Maria out of fear of hurting her. Ingvar's dog alerts him to something odd in the field while he works on the tractor, but they are unable to identify it. While the years pass, Ada's mother repeatedly comes looking for her daughter outside the house, but Maria continually dismisses her while Ada watches. Ingvar accidentally leaves the home door open before stepping outside to work in the shed one morning while Maria departs to work in the fields and he looks after Ada. Maria inquires about Ada as they both enter the home. Before leaving, he claims to have put her to sleep. She continues to look for her but is unable to locate her in the bedroom. They notice that Ada is absent after taking a check around the house. He reassures Maria that he will locate her shortly when she expresses concern about her. Both of them begin looking about, but they are unable to locate her anywhere. Maria hears the sheep from the barn as they return in vain and rushes over to them to discover Ada asleep next to her mother. They remove her from the sheep right away, covering her to protect her from the bitter cold. The mother sheep begins to follow them as they bring her back inside the house, but Maria once more sends her away. Both of them eventually sigh with satisfaction after returning inside and putting their daughter in bed because they now know she is secure with them. Ada grows in importance as time goes on, especially for Maria who can't imagine her family without her and spends a lot of time with her. Maria has dreams about the sheep when she sleeps, fearing that they would steal Ada from her. She worries about Ada and devises a strategy to neutralize the danger. She enters the home when Ingvar and Ada are still asleep, then kills Ada's mother outside. Without realizing it, Ingvar's brother Pétur, who has just arrived, watched Maria bury the sheep in the dirt. Pétur spends the night in the barn and sees a human-sheep hybrid, but since it vanishes so swiftly, he dismisses the sight as a dream. He sees Ingvar when he wakes up the next morning. Ingvar is pleased to see him again after a lengthy absence. When Ingvar brings the visitor outdoors, he instructs Maria to make breakfast for him. Ada, who is now an adult, arrives at the door as they are seated at the table, and Maria introduces her to Pétur. Even though he is a little unhappy to see her, he stays silent. Pétur returns to the house and observes Ada and Maria playing with each other while Ingvar is painting the house. He complains about Ada to Ingvar when he arrives, but Ingvar doesn't seem to mind because he views Ada as the source of their happiness. Pétur wants to talk to Ingvar about keeping her again at night when Maria takes Ada to say good night to him and Ingvar, but he stops him since he does not want to talk about it. He invites Pétur to remain as long as he likes, but forbids him from meddling in their private affairs. Maria inquires about Pétur's stay since she doesn't like his attitude, but Pétur frequently comes over to hide from the people he owes money to, so Ingvar knows he could remain for a while. The dog keeps watch over Ada the following morning as they plant potatoes in the field, but she frightens him away. Pétur approaches Maria while taking a break from work, but she pushes him away. He claims that they have brought an animal inside the house once more, but Maria doesn't seem very concerned because he is uninvolved in their family's affairs. Ingvar wakes him up the following morning to get assistance with cleaning the shed. Pétur, who is cleaning the items, discovers his old drums and begins playing them eagerly. Ada appreciates it, but Pétur becomes irritated with her. When Ingvar appears, he is reprimanded for making her eat like a lamb in an attempt to ridicule her. Pétur sneaks Ada away from them one night when they are sleeping to go on a morning stroll. He originally planned to shoot her, but after seeing her innocent face, he decides against it. Soon after, Ada is absent from Maria's cart when she awakens. She becomes concerned and looks around the house for her, but discovers her asleep in Pétur's arms and realizes that he has at last embraced her. When Maria makes a visit to the grave, she reveals that she and Ingvar had an Ada-named daughter, after whom the lamb was named. While reading the stories to Ada, Ingvar remembers his deceased daughter, and how he felt the pain after losing her, but Maria calms him down. Ada and Pétur become close, and he frequently takes her outside. Being able to finally watch the two of them getting along with one another makes Ingvar and Maria feel content and at ease. Pétur talks to Ada about his and Ingvar's early years while they fish. The tractor breaks down in the middle of the road while they are returning home. He leaves it there after failing to solve the issue and strolls back home with Ada. After supper, they all watch a game together, but are disappointed when their team loses. When Maria notices they are distressed, she resolves to make them feel better by playing an old Pétur music video. Everyone begins to dance to the beat, which alters their mood. Ada exits the home and spots her biological father as they all start to relax and drink. She is taken aback when she realizes that, rather than Maria or Ingvar, she resembles him. Ingvar binges back at the house and collapses to the ground. Ada joins him in bed when Pétur transports him there. He nods out right away, but Ada can't help but wonder what she saw outside the home. Pétur returns to the kitchen in the meanwhile and attempts to flirt with Maria again, but she stops him. He blackmails the person to inform Ada that she murdered her mother when he notices that she is not paying attention to him. Maria pretends to have fallen for his trap after hearing him speak, but she really locks him in the closet. She refuses his repeated demands to open the door as he calls and knocks on it. She wakes him up the next morning and requests that he vacate the premises. While Ada assists him with breakfast, Ingvar wakes up and searches the house for them while she drives him. Maria informs him that Ada is a gift for them who is assisting them in starting again after leaving him off at the bus station. Despite being offended by his behavior, she offers him money to cover his expenditures and bids him farewell as he takes the bus to depart town. While taking Ada to the tractor shop, Ingvar converses with her and explains how she may return home if she gets lost. He tries to solve the problem but fails, so he and Ada return. Maria joyfully drives back home, believing that they can now coexist peacefully with Ada. When she returns, she looks about the home for Ingvar and Ada but is unsuccessful. The hybrid beast that has murdered her dog kills Ingvar in the neck in front of Ada as she rushes over to investigate after hearing a gunshot. Although Ada doesn't want to leave him alone, he takes her hand and drags her away from Ingvar as she sleeps next to him. She keeps returning his gaze with tearful eyes, but her biological father drags her away, leaving Ingvar helpless to do anything but watch in agony. Soon after, Maria discovers him gravely hurt and lifts him up, but he passes away in her arms. Maria shuts her eyes in anguish as she sobs at her loss. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay updated on future videos. Leave a like to support the channel.